evening, everyone. Just a random beer drinking guy here with you today. Today, the setup is a little bit different. Quite honestly, I get tired of drinking beers. It happens. Not much for a beer drinking guy if I get tired of drinking beer, right? But I like liquor. And I thought to myself tonight, I'll make myself an old-fashioned. If I was to make myself an old-fashioned, though, I might as well record it. And maybe show you what it is. Show you how to make it. If y'all ever interested in making one yourself, it's relatively easy to make. Anyone can do it. And it's actually the very first cocktail ever created. Cocktail meaning anything that's pre-prohibition. Cocktail was pretty much a basic fruit, water, liquor, and sugar. That's it. That's all it was. Hell, even the first daiquiri was literally just lime juice, ice, rum, and a crap load of sugar. So this right here is a pre-prohibition cocktail, the old-fashioned. Ideally, you make the old-fashioned with rye whiskey. Because back in the day, around the 1910s, 1920s, that's all they really had was rye whiskey. The new whiskey didn't get profound until after post-prohibition, and that's when things get really complicated and everything goes awry, and I can take an hour explaining how whiskey works after that. So we can keep it simple. There's various ways, various versions of the old-fashioned cocktail. Today, I'm going to make the most common, easiest way to make it. And I can make it the easy way, or I can explain to you how to make it the easy way, or I can show you how to make it, how they made it originally back in the 20s. So, like I said before, the original cocktail is pretty much the basis is water, sugar, fruits, liquor. That's it. Ice wasn't introduced till they created ice in 1930s. Back then they didn't have ice. So we are gonna do our best here. I'm gonna show you my best here. How to work it out. So originally when you start off with a cocktail, you always want to have the drink that you want to pick out first. Like I said before, rye whiskey is the ideal choice. That's what the preferred method is to make an old-fashioned. Is it an end-all be-all? Hell no. You pick your favorite whiskey that you like and you use that whiskey. I'm just going to stick with what the variation is here. Preferably, when I like making an old-fashioned, I like using it with either this, the Eighth Wonder whiskey, or I also done it with this. The Buffalo Trace. It's not a local. It's extremely good, cheap ass whiskey, but it's fucking good. As well, that's another local. Yellow Rose. It's another good option if you want to do an old-fashioned. These threes are ideal and they're not rye. Now, to explain rye right quick, it's a little bit different. So rye whiskey is the assumption of basically a percentage. So with rye whiskey is 51% rye, then corn, and then barley and all that stuff. This is the percentage amount that's overdue. As Hugo was telling you, drinking rye whiskey, it's a little bit spicy at the end. So whenever you take a shot of whatever whiskey you've taken in the past, if you have that shot taste, like that little spice, like you just been to jalapeno, or like a high spice of cinnamon, you 9 out of 10 just took a shot of rye whiskey. Not a lot of people like rye whiskey just for that fact. They think it's too spicy. It has that little real heavy malt to it. I like it if it's done right. And not a lot of places do it right. My personal favorite, like I said, is the two I have here. It's the only two I have here, since I'm not a fan of rye whiskey. It's the Bulleit Rye and Local's Own Whitmire Rye. So, and this is actually a little cheat right here, because this is not even true rye. This is a mixture of a rye whiskey and a bourbon batch. So, to start off to make your drink, you're gonna need sugar. The easiest, cheapest way to do it, and non-complex way to do it, simple syrup. Hell, you can make it your own. Simple syrup is literally 1-to-1. One part sugar, 1 part water. Or you can buy this for like $3. But today, I'm going to do the old way, the old-fashioned way. Haha, pun intended. With a cube. Sugar cube. Put a sugar cube in that. You drop it in. Now, if you're gonna do the whole sugar cube aspect, ideally, you want to pour in some like carbonated water in it to help it dissolve. Because if not, it's gonna be real chunky. You're gonna have a lot of chunks in your drinks. You're not gonna want that. It's gonna ruin it for you. There we go. That should work. Let's do one more. A little baby spoon here. I don't put too much because if I put too much, it'll dissolve right quick. There we go. All right. We got that in play. Now you want to throw in your bitters. Now the ideal bitter to use, it'll be Astra aromatic bitter. Good shit, expensive shit. Now these two, and then you can also add orange bitter if you want to crush in the flavor. So these two is going to add the citrus and the spice to it. This is going to make your old fashioned. So, and everything's based on your preference. Now, you add as much bitter as you want. Ideally, it's 2 to 3 dashes. I usually do 5. And the same with the orange bitter. Ideally, it's 1 or 2 dashes. I do 3. You mess around with it, you play with it, you figure out what you like, and that's how you enjoy your drink. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Some bitters. You got a little bit of 3 dashes of that. And in this clobbering thing, we're going to start mushing our sugar. And so when you mush your sugar, you want it pasty. So it can dissolve when you pour in the whiskey. So whenever you get it to that right pastiness, then it's ready for your drink. Next step is to drop the cube of ice. Now, a lot of my friends know I do this on Spare Living. Ideally, when you do this, you want to have a giant cube, a sphere, a big block of ice, mainly because you don't want to water your drink down too quick, too fast. You want to keep it cold, not water down. So, I make my own little things. I make my own clear cubes. I have too much time on my hand. Yes, I realize this. It's extremely easy to do. Look at that. Maybe I'll make a video about it. For a quick summary of that aspect of it, to make a clear ice, you don't need no fancy water. You don't need no fancy foam. You don't need no special water. You don't need even boiled water. All you need is this little puppy right here. Igloo Cube. A little cooler. Mine's a little bit bigger. You get a smaller one too. They usually go for like 15 bucks. You get this. That's all you need. You fill it up with water. And you put it in the freezer with the top off. Once you do that, give it 24 hours to let it freeze. Don't let it freeze all the way. Pour into some tray. You break whatever ice didn't melt, didn't freeze over. Boom, clear ice. The process is called directional freezing. You're forcing air to go through the cooler down to the bottom, up. That's the only way you make clear ice. Any other bullshit that you read online about this, and that, crap. Directional freezing. That's all you need. All right, back to the show. So, we're going to do Whitmire whiskey today. Good cork. About 2.5 ounces should do. Pour that in like that. And then, all you do is mix. You mix it to let everything get aerated, get mixed together, get the little water that's coming off the ice to cool it down. Get it all nice and flavored, and it starts changing dramatically. It starts giving that flavor. It's no longer just a shot. It's actually like a little party. Enough. All right. Now you can add. And then you can add your cherry. This is a fancy ass cherry. This is a Moscato cherry. Throw that in there. I usually like throwing some of the syrup in there. Let that shit play around. Gives it a little bit more sweetness to it. And then your lemon peel. That's all it is. Good little sliced lemon peel. Dash some of that oil onto it. Rub it against the lid. And then boom. That's all you do. Easiest drink to make. Easiest mad drink to make. Minimum amount of time, minimum amount of effort. Shit, what more do you want? And it gets the job done. Some good fucking shit right there. Like I said, thank you for bearing with me on this tonight. I just felt like drinking some whiskey here. Some good little, nice little COVID drink for me. I will probably be doing some of this from time to time, making cocktails and stuff. I have, during my COVID phase, I did end up just learning about liquor for no apparent reason whatsoever. I also learned how to make a lot of cocktails. So, outside of me reviewing beers, from time to time, if I have the urge or feeling, I will have random posts of making cocktails and reviewing those cocktails as well. I mean, this one need me review for an old fashioned. Straight up, old fashioned is for those who like whiskey. If you don't like whiskey, 9 out of 10, you're not gonna like an old fashioned. Old fashioned is for the whiskey lover who just want that sweetness. If you're a person who barely likes whiskey with Coke or something like that, you might like the old fashioned if it's done to a point where it's super sweet, which means you have to add the extra orange bitter or a little bit more of the mezcal cherry juice, and that will make it more sweeter. Other than that, it's gonna taste like a whiskey. You have to really be into it to enjoy it. I personally love it. It's a fucking great whiskey. It's a great chill night. Perfect drink to have by a bonfire or with a steak. What more do you want? All right, with that being said, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your enjoyment tonight. This is just a random beer drinking guy. Pairing you very well.